Good morning, students. Today we'll see about ultrasonics. In this unit, we'll see about the production of ultrasonic waves using magnetostriction method in piezoelectric method, then detection of ultrasonic waves, measurement of velocity of ultrasonic waves and its applications. We'll see about the introduction, properties of ultrasonic waves, then ultrasonic production using magnetostriction method, then piezoelectric method. First, I'll move to introduction part. The word ultrasonic combines the Latin roots ultra, which means beyond, and sonic or sound. Frequencies above the audible range, that is above 20 kHz, are called ultrasonic waves. These ultrasonic waves are high frequency waves. Humans can detect sounds in a frequency range from about 20 Hz to 20 kHz. This 20 Hz to 20 kHz are called audible range. Then this less than 20 Hz are called infrasonics. Then above this 20 kHz are called ultrasonics. This ultrasound is a very high pitched sound. We cannot hear ultrasound because this is beyond our audible range. But animals like dogs, bat, mouse, dolphins can hear very high pitched sound, and also they can produce ultrasonic waves. We'll see some example. The bat is the best example to hear the ultrasonic sound so that it can travel during night. Then dolphin, whale can emit ultrasonic frequency. The dog can hear the sound up to 45,000 Hz. Cat can hear the sound up to 64,000 Hz. That's the reason why during the night time the animals are producing some sound. Then similarly, the male mice will produce ultrasonic sound to communicate with the female mice. The frogs can produce ultrasonic sound to communicate with other frogs. Grasshopper and some types of butterfly, a few family moth are the examples of ultrasonic waves. They are producing ultrasonic waves and also they can hear ultrasonic waves. Then we'll move to properties of ultrasonic waves. First one, they have a high energy content. Second one, like ordinary sound wave, these waves get reflected, refracted and absorbed. They can be transmitted over large distance with no loss of energy. Fourth point, if an arrangement is made to form unstationary waves in a liquid, it serves as a grating called acoustic grating. Fifth point, they produce intense heating effect when passed through substance. Sixth point, these ultrasonic waves cannot travel through vacuum. Seventh one, these waves travel with the speed of sound in a given medium. Their velocity remains constant in a homogeneous medium. And these waves can weld certain plastics, metals, etc. Fifth point, they can produce vibrations in low viscosity liquids. The speed of ultrasonic waves or acoustic waves is more in more dense media. And the last point, the sound is likely to travel faster through solids followed by liquid and gases. So these all are the few properties of ultrasonic waves. Then we'll move to the production of ultrasonic waves. Before that, we'll see what is longitudinal wave. So this is the propagation in a medium of a longitudinal waves. We have compression and rarefaction. Second one, transverse wave. This is the propagation of wave in a medium. We'll get crest and trough. So ultrasonic production. Ultrasonic waves can be produced in a popular method called magnetostriction generator or oscillator method, piezoelectric generator or oscillator. The method of producing ultrasonic waves, the best method is a magnetostriction method. We'll see in detail. First principle. The principle is based on the effect of magnetostriction effect. What is magnetostriction effect? When a ferromagnetic rod like iron or nickel is placed in a magnetic field parallel to its length, the rod experiences a small change in its length. This is called magnetostriction effect. Let me repeat it. When a ferromagnetic rod like iron or nickel is placed in a magnetic field parallel to its length, the rod experiences a small change in its length. This is called magnetostriction effect. See here, this is a magnetic field. A ferromagnetic rod is placed parallel to the magnetic field. So when we keep like this, it experiences small change in its length. The change in length may be increase or decrease. That produced in the rod depends upon the strength of the magnetic field, the nature of the material, and it is independent of direction of the magnetic field applied. That means it depends on the strength of the magnetic field and the nature of the material, and it is independent of the direction of the magnetic field applied. See here, this is a ferromagnetic rod which is placed in a magnetic field. Here I have taken a nickel rod. When the nickel rod is placed in a magnetic field, so it produces an ultrasonic waves. We'll see in detail. See, this is the construction. This is a rod, a ferromagnetic rod. It may be made up of a nickel or iron, and it should be clamped. And we have to apply the DC source between A and B terminals. Then we have to take a coil L1 and L2. L1 is connected with a variable capacitor C1, and the same end is connected with a variable power supply, a variable source, DC source. The negative is connected with other end of L2. The other end of L2 is connected with the base of the transistor. This is a NPN transistor. So then the collector is connected to milliammeter. The other end of milliammeter is connected with the LC circuit. We'll see the procedure or working. First one, when the battery is switched on, the resonance circuit L1C1 sets up an alternating current or a frequency. And the frequency is given by F is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi root of L1C1. This current flowing round the coil L1 produces an alternating magnetic field of frequency F along the length of the nickel rod. The rod starts vibrating due to magnetostriction effect. The vibration of the rod creates ultrasonic waves. Then, when it is attained the resonance condition, the ultrasonic waves will be produced. What is this resonance condition? That is, the frequency of the oscillating circuit is equal to frequency of the vibrating rod. When this resonance condition attains, the rod vibrates vigorously and produce ultrasonic waves. Let me repeat this point. This point is more important. When attain the condition of resonance. What is the conditions of resonance? The frequency of the oscillator circuit is equal to frequency of the vibrating rod. When this condition attained, then the ferromagnetic rod vibrate vigorously and produce ultrasonic waves on both the ends. We know the formula for frequency of oscillating circuit, that F is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi root of L1C1, and this source the frequency of the vibrating rod 1 divided by 2L root of E divided by rho, where we know that L1 is the inductance, C1 is the capacitance, L is the length of the rod, E is the Young's modulus of the rod, and rho is the density of the material of the rod. The resonance condition is indicated by the rise in the collector current shown in the milliammeter. Then we will see the advantages. First one, the design of this oscillator is very simple and the protection cost is very low. Second one, at low ultrasonic frequency, the large power output can be produced without the risk of damage of the oscillatory circuit. Then we'll move to the disadvantages. The first point is it has low upper frequency limit and cannot generate ultrasonic frequency above 3000 kHz. Second point, the frequency of the oscillation depends on the temperature. Third point, there will be loss of energy due to hysteresis and eddy current. Then I'll move to the piezoelectric method. So when we apply force along optic axis, then equal and opposite charges will be produced along electrical axis. That is the principle of piezoelectric method. We'll see in detail. Before going into the piezoelectric oscillator, let us see about the piezoelectric crystal. This is the quartz crystal, is the best example of piezoelectric crystal. It consists of three axes: optic axis, electrical axis and mechanical axis. That is X, Y, Z. It consists of two hexagon and attached with two pyramid. And this is the example of X-cut crystal. X-cut crystal means the corner of the hexagon should be joined. Then Y-cut crystal means the body of the hexagon should be joined. Example of the piezoelectric crystals are quartz, Roche salt and tourmaline. Then piezoelectric generator or oscillator. We'll see the piezoelectric effect. So when we apply a mechanical force along the optical axis or mechanical pressure, you can say, then equal and opposite charges will be produced along electrical axis or x-axis. Then the crystal starts vibrate and produce ultrasonic waves. So this is what I have given here. You just read out. Then inverse piezoelectric effect. So inverse piezoelectric effect means when we apply equal and opposite electrical charges along electrical axis, then the ultrasonic waves will be produced along optical axis. This is the inverse piezoelectric effect. The inverse piezoelectric effect is the principle of piezoelectric generator. Here I have given in detail, just go through it. Then we'll move to piezoelectric generator. This is the circuit and it consists of the primary circuit and the secondary circuit. The primary circuit consists of a transistor, NPN transistor, then LC circuit, it's a variable capacitor, L1, L2 coil, inductance coil, key, battery. The secondary circuit consists of the coil L3 with two metal plates A, B and the quartz crystal. We'll see the connection. The battery should be connected with the key and the key should be connected through the inductance of the coil. The other end of the inductance of the coil is connected to the collector of the transistor. The base is connected with the LC circuit and the other end of L and C should be connected with the E, you can say L2 also. Then the other end should be connected with the negative of the power supply. This is about the primary circuit. And the secondary circuit consists of L3 and the L3 should be connected with the two metal plates A and B, and in between the metal plates we have to keep the quartz crystal. We'll see the procedure. The quartz crystal is placed between two metal plates A and B. That is the first construction. Second one, the plates are connected to the secondary coil L3 of the transformer, which is inductively coupled to the electronics oscillator. The electronic oscillator circuit is a base tuned oscillator circuit. The coil L1, L2 of the oscillator circuits are taken from the primary of the transformer T. The collector coil L2 is inductively coupled with the base coil L1. The coil L1 and the variable capacitor C1 form the tank circuit of the oscillator. L1, C1 are called tank circuits. Then working. First one, we have to switch on the power supply or a battery. The oscillator produces high frequency alternating voltage with the frequency. Due to the transformer action, the oscillator EMF is induced in the coil L3. High frequency alternating voltage are fed on the plates A and B. So you know that we kept the crystal between A and B. What will happen automatically due to the alternating high voltage, the crystal starts vibrate. At one particular stage, that means we can say that at resonance condition, so what is resonance condition? The frequency of the circuit is equal to frequency of the crystal. Then when this condition attains, the crystal starts vibrate vigorously and produce ultrasonic waves. We'll see the resonance condition. The resonance condition is here given here. The frequency of the oscillatory circuit is equal to frequency of the crystal, vibrating crystal. This is the frequency of the oscillatory circuit, 1 divided by 2 pi root of L to C, and this is the frequency of the vibrating coil, P divided by 2L root of E divided by rho, where P is a constant like 1, 2, 3, etc. E is the Young's modulus of the crystal, rho is the density of the crystal plate, and L is the thickness of the crystal plate. When this condition attains, the crystal starts vibrate and produce ultrasonic waves. This is a very simple and easy procedure. We can study how the ultrasonic waves get produced. Then I will move to the advantages. The advantages, ultrasonic frequency are high, so you can produce ultrasonic waves up to 500 MHz using this method. Second one, the output of this oscillatory is very high. Third one, it is not affected by a temperature or humidity. Then we will see the disadvantages. First one, the cost of the crystal is very high. The cutting and shaping of the quartz crystals are very complex. So that's all about the introduction on ultrasonics, then production using magnetization restriction, and also piezoelectric method. With this, I want to complete this class. The next things we will see in the next class, students. Thank you.